You wake up, and before your eyes fully open, you already feel that stiffness in your legs, the kind that makes getting out of bed feel like lifting bricks. You sit at the edge of the mattress, waiting for your knees to loosen for your feet to remember what steady feels like. It's not pain exactly, it's something quieter, heavier, like your body is asking, will this be another slow day? Have you ever wondered, when did it start feeling this hard just to move? Not all at once, but slowly, little by little, until one morning you notice you're avoiding stairs. You're skipping the walk. You're staying seated longer than before. This video isn't about a miracle cure. It's not about pushing through or pretending to be young again. It's about listening to the quiet signals your body gives and gently answering them with care and kindness. If you felt slower lately, if your legs feel distant from the strength they once knew, stay with me. Let's take this one step at a time. One, the sunrise ritual. You know that quiet hour, right before the world wakes up. The air feels still, the birds haven't finished their first song, and the light just beginning to spill through the window. Soft, gentle, golden. That's where Rose begins her day. Not with noise, not with urgency. Just a chair by her east-facing kitchen window. No glasses, no phone, just her, the rising sun, and a glass of room-temperature water cupped gently in both hands. She sits there for 15 minutes, no more, no less, letting the morning light enter her eyes, letting it reset something deep inside. You might wonder, how can something so quiet make such a difference? But the answer is in the way our bodies work. As we age, our internal clocks called circadian rhythms begin to drift. They lose precision. We wake up at odd hours, struggle to fall back asleep, feel tired even after a full night's rest. Rose used to wake up 4 or 5 times every night. She'd nap in the afternoon. Her energy felt scattered, her mind cloudy. She relied on sleeping pills just to find rest and cups of coffee to chase away the fog. But then she discovered this one habit, something ancient cultures have practiced for centuries: morning light directly in the eyes within 1 hour of waking. Why does it matter? Because the light triggers your body's master clock. It signals your brain to suppress melatonin, the sleep hormone, and increase cortisol, not the stress kind, but the healthy kind that helps you feel awake, focused, and balanced. Just pause for a second. Think about that. One beam of light, a natural rhythm, like tuning a piano that's been out of key. Rose didn't expect much when she started, but after just a few weeks, something changed. She began sleeping through the night, 7 hours without waking once. No more pills, no more jittery coffee mornings. She just woke up feeling like herself again. Her doctor was shocked, took her off the sleep medication entirely. And here's the best part, you don't need a fancy setup. If you don't have an east-facing window, sit outside for 10 minutes. Even on cloudy days, natural light is stronger than anything indoors. And if going outside is hard, a light therapy lamp can help too. Look for one with 10,000 lux. Just make sure the light touches your eyes directly. Not through sunglasses, not filtered through tinted glass. Just that gentle, honest light of morning. Think of it like setting your compass. Not just for your body, but for your mind, your mood, your day. The sun doesn't rush. It rises slowly, with grace. And so can you. So tomorrow morning, before the coffee, before the news, before the rush of shoulds and musts, just sit. Let the light find you. You've earned that quiet. You deserve that reset. Your body remembers what balance feels like. Sometimes it just needs the light to remind it. 2, gratitude plus memory exercise. There's something sacred about early morning silence. When the world hasn't quite started moving yet, when it's just you and your thoughts. After her sunrise ritual, Rose sits down with a small notebook, the kind with a worn cover and a pen that feels familiar in the hand. She writes 3 things she's grateful for. Not big grand things, not headlines or major achievements, just small, quiet moments. But here's where her habit becomes powerful. For each thing she writes, she adds a memory, a real one, with detail. Not I'm grateful for my family, but I'm grateful for the sound of my grandson Miguel's laughter when he found the hidden compartment in my old jewelry box. I can still hear it echo down the hallway. His eyes lit up like he'd discovered treasure. That's the magic. She doesn't just name the moment, she relives it. Through sound, through sight, through feeling. And in doing that, she does something remarkable. She rewires her brain. You see, the older we get, the more we're told to expect decline. Memory loss, emotional flatness, a slow dimming of joy. But what if that's not entirely true? Neuroscience shows that when we actively recall vivid positive memories, especially with sensory detail, we light up areas of the brain responsible for joy memory, retention, and attention. Dr. Rick Hansen, a clinical psychologist, explains it simply. When we take in the good, we teach our brain to see more good. It's like training a muscle. Only the muscle is your ability to feel connected, resilient, and alive. Rose started this practice during one of her lowest moments. She felt invisible, forgotten, like her life had quietly stopped mattering. Some mornings she said she could barely think of one thing to be grateful for. But slowly something shifted. She began noticing small joys again. The way the mailman always waved, the perfect warmth of her tea, a cardinal landing on her bird feeder. And as her gratitude deepened, her memory sharpened. She started remembering names again, where she left her keys, details from conversations, moments that had once slipped past unnoticed. It's like her brain was waking up not just to the past, but to the present. And perhaps the most powerful change, she felt less alone, because her story had chapters, and she could still read them. Now, maybe you don't like to write, or your hands ache, or your eyes get tired. That's okay. You can speak your gratitudes aloud, or use a voice-to-text app on your phone or tablet. What matters is the feeling, the sensory details, the connection. So instead of saying, "I'm grateful for music," try, "I'm grateful for the sound of Nat King Cole on Sunday mornings," the way his voice fills the room like soft sunlight. Your brain responds to that. Your heart does too. It doesn't have to take long. 3 minutes, 1 page, or even just one memory. Think of it like watering a plant, a small ritual that helps something deep inside you grow stronger. And if nothing comes to mind today, that's all right too. Sometimes the brain needs a few gentle mornings to begin opening again. So here's a small invitation. What's one memory that still makes you smile? Is it the smell of fresh bread in your mother's kitchen? The feeling of your dog's fur under your fingers? The crackle of an old radio playing your favorite song? That memory, that smile isn't just a flash of the past. It's a thread that ties you to who you've always been. And tomorrow morning, when the house is quiet again, open that notebook, or just close your eyes and find your way back to one small, beautiful moment. Because your memories matter, and the more you remember joy, the more joy remembers you. 3. Pre-coffee hydration. You wake up, step into the kitchen, and almost without thinking, you reach for the coffee pot. It's warm, it's familiar, it feels like comfort. Rose used to do the same thing. Coffee first always. It was her little anchor, a way to shake off the sleep, the fog, the stiffness. But what she didn't know, what most of us don't, is that drinking coffee first thing in the morning might actually be making us feel worse, especially as we age. You see, after 6 to 8 hours of sleep, your body wakes up a little like a dry sponge. Dehydrated, your blood is thicker, your joints creak, and your brain, that beautiful complex organ, is slightly shrunken, thirsty for nourishment. Now imagine this before that dry sponge has a chance to soak up water, you pour caffeine on it. Caffeine doesn't hydrate. It pulls even more moisture away. It asks your adrenal system to get up and run before your body has even opened its eyes. Rose didn't know all that either. Not until she began studying the habits of Okinawan elders, many of whom live well into their 90s with strong bodies and clear minds. They all shared one quiet ritual: warm water first. So she made one small change. Before coffee, before food, she drinks 16 ounces of warm water with a squeeze of lemon and a tiny pinch of pink Himalayan salt. Simple, but life-changing. Within 2 weeks, her joints felt looser. Her morning stiffness, the kind that used to last for hours, was gone within minutes. The salt provided gentle electrolytes, the lemon helped digestion, and the warm temperature helped circulation flow more easily through her limbs. It's like priming a pump. You give the body what it needs before you ask it to perform. Medical research supports this too. Hydration right after waking improves cognitive function, aids bowel movements, and reduces inflammation, especially in older adults prone to arthritis. And here's the surprising part. Rose was nervous about this habit. "I was afraid I'd be running to the bathroom all morning," she admitted. But the opposite happened. Her body adjusted. She absorbed the water instead of flushing it out. Because when you hydrate slowly, intentionally, your body learns to use it. She keeps a pitcher ready on the counter. Each night she prepares her mix. By morning, it's room temperature and ready to go. No decision, no fuss, just a clear glass and the promise of ease. Now you may be wondering, can I still have my coffee? Yes, absolutely. This habit isn't about giving something up. It's about giving your body a head start. Wait 30 minutes after the water. Let your system hydrate. Then enjoy your coffee with more clarity, more comfort, and less crash. If you take medications in the morning, check with your doctor about timing. Most won't interfere. But this simple act, this quiet glass of water, might help your body receive those meds even better. So tomorrow morning, before the coffee, before the creamer, before the swirl of routine, reach for the water first. Let it wake your joints. Let it bathe your brain. Let it remind you that health starts not with pressure, but with preparation. Because your body isn't just waking up. It's asking for kindness, for care, for something soft and life-giving before the day truly begins. And maybe a glass of water is the gentlest way to say I'm ready now. 4. In-bed mobility sequence. Some mornings getting out of bed feels like lifting a mountain. Your legs feel heavy. Your back whispers complaints. Your hands, stiff and slow, resist the stretch of a new day. Rose knows that feeling well. At 85, she dreaded the first step, the stiffness, the stumble, the quiet fear that one wrong move could mean a fall. And for older adults, a fall isn't just inconvenient, it's life-changing. That's why Rose made a promise to herself before her feet ever touch the floor. She gives her body a gentle wake-up call, a series of small movements done right in bed that slowly open the joints, activate the muscles, and prepare her balance system before gravity takes over. She calls it her mobility awakening. It's not exercise, it's preparation for life. She begins with ankle circles, 10 in each direction for each foot. No rush, just gentle rotation like tracing circles in the air. Why start there? Because your ankles are your foundation. They connect you to the ground, and blood flow starts from the feet up. Then she gently pulls each knee toward her chest, holding for 15 seconds. This stretches the hip flexors, those deep muscles that tighten overnight and make us wobble when we first stand. Next come the shoulder rolls, 10 forward, 10 backward. Still lying down, still slow. This helps undo the forward hunch that comes from years of looking down at phones, it sinks at memories. Then she adds slow neck turns, left, right, up toward the headboard, down toward her toes, and finally her favorite part, the wake-up wiggles. She moves her hands, fingers, and toes rapidly for 30 seconds. It looks a little silly, but it sends a rush of circulation to her limbs. It tells her nervous system, I'm here. I'm ready. You don't need 10 minutes. You don't need perfection. What you need is connection. Because overnight, your body rests, but it also stiffens. Synovial fluid, the natural lubricant in your joints, thickens. Without motion, it stays sticky. That's why the first few steps can feel like walking on glass. These small movements warm the fluid. They tell your joints it's safe to move again. Physical therapists now recommend this approach for fall prevention, not just because it increases flexibility, but because it activates proprioception, your body's internal GPS system. It reminds your brain where your limbs are and helps prevent those shaky, uncertain steps. Rose's real test came 6 months ago. She slipped on wet leaves near the grocery store, but instead of falling hard, her body adjusted. Her hips flexed, her balance held. She stayed upright. I know that fall would have broken my hip, she said. This routine saved me from months in a nursing home. And if you're thinking, but I have arthritis or my joints don't move like they used to, that's okay. This isn't about range. It's about rhythm, movement within comfort, stretching the parts that allow it, skipping the ones that don't. If shoulder pain limits your rolls, just shrug gently. If knees to chest are difficult, try sliding your heels slowly along the bed. The goal isn't to do every motion. The goal is to begin the day with intention, not tension. Rose keeps a small timer on her nightstand. Sometimes she does the full routine. Other days just the ankle circles and wiggles. But every morning she starts with respect for her body, not demands. So tomorrow before you rise, before you reach for your slippers, pause. Breathe. Circle your ankles. Lift one knee. Roll your shoulders. Smile at your hands as they wiggle. You're not just waking up. You're telling your body, I'm with you. Let's move through this day together. 5. Purpose intention. There's a moment right after you've stretched, hydrated, and let the sunlight fill your eyes when the day lies in front of you, quiet and wide open. And in that space, Rose asks herself one question. What's one way I can contribute to someone else's life? Today, not next week, not someday, today. Then she opens her notebook, the same one she uses for her gratitude, and writes it down. Sometimes it's simple. I'll text my grandson and ask how school is going. I'll bring an extra tomato from the garden to Mrs. Chen. I'll leave a kind comment for someone online who seems alone. Just one small act, but done with full attention. At first, Rose thought the idea was silly. She was 85, alone and grieving. What could a broken-down old lady possibly offer anyone, she asked herself. But the day she called her neighbor just to ask how a doctor's visit went, something changed. Mrs. Chen cried. No one else had remembered, and that one call became a ripple. The next day, Mrs. Chen checked on Rose. Soon, Rose began calling other neighbors, sharing vegetables from her small garden, mentoring young teachers online, reaching out to others who, like her, once felt forgotten. And something inside her shifted. She no longer felt invisible. She felt necessary. Science now shows that this shift, this daily purpose, is more than emotional. It's biological. Research from Rush University found that seniors with a strong sense of purpose have 44% less cognitive decline. They're 2.4 times less likely to develop Alzheimer's. They sleep better. They have stronger immune systems, less inflammation, and perhaps most importantly, they feel happier, more alive. In Okinawa, where some of the world's longest living people reside, they call this sense of daily meaning ikigai, a reason to get up in the morning. Not a job, not an obligation, but a quiet mission that says I matter. I still have something to give. Rose didn't wait for the world to tell her she was useful. She decided it herself, every morning. And it wasn't about doing something big, it was about doing something true. Maybe you don't see many people during the day. Maybe your circle has grown smaller with time. That's okay. Contribution doesn't require movement, it requires heart. You can write a note to someone you love, send a prayer or blessing to someone you haven't spoken to in years, comment on a photo with kindness, or simply decide I will smile at the cashier today. I will listen when someone speaks. I will see another person as human and let them feel seen. Small acts, but deeply human. Rose keeps a running list of ideas in her notebook, not because she has to, but because it reminds her every day has possibility. And when she forgets, she just starts again the next morning. That's the beauty of this ritual. It resets you not just physically, but spiritually. Because when we stop giving, we start shrinking. But when we give even the smallest bit, we expand. So tomorrow, after your stretches, after your water, after your sunlight and memory, sit quietly and ask yourself, what's one way I can contribute today? Don't search for something perfect, just something honest. Write it down, say it out loud, or hold it gently in your heart. Then follow through, because the smallest kind gesture done with love can echo further than we imagine. Just like Rose, who started with a phone call and became the heart of her neighborhood. You don't have to do it all. You don't have to change the world, but you can warm a small corner of it, and often that's more than enough. Some days the smallest changes can bring us back to ourselves. Not all at once, but gently, like morning light slipping through the curtains. You don't need to do everything. Just one small thing. One quiet habit that reminds your body it's still capable and reminds your heart that it still matters. As you move through the rest of your day, carry this with you, a soft promise to care for yourself the way you've cared for so many others. If today's message brought you comfort, you're welcome to stay connected. You can subscribe or share this with someone who might need a little hope too. We'll be here whenever you're ready.